What if you could build wealth by investing just $10 a day into the stock market? Well, 3 months ago, I started investing $10 a day into SCHD. And in today's video, I'm going to be going over how much money that I've made in that investment since that time. Now, make sure you stick around because I'm going to be going over my entire investment in SCHD. And later on in the video, I'm going to be giving away 2 things absolutely free. So make sure you stick around for that. So back at the beginning of 2024, I started investing $5 a day into the stock market to show people how easy it was to get started with investing. And since that time, I've switched my focus and now I'm actually starting to build out a portfolio right here on this channel. Now, in full disclosure, I do have several other accounts that I invest in, including a 401k. But I want to make sure that it is understood that this account that I'm building out on my channel is absolutely intended to add to my overall net worth. So I'm treating this account the same way that I'm asking you to treat your account. I'll never ask you to do something that I would not do myself. And in addition to showing you how easy it is to get started with investing, I realize that compound interest is the ultimate wealth cheat code. So I make sure that every available dollar that I have goes into the market or is invested in some form or fashion. So if you have your money just sitting on the sidelines and not invested in some capacity, then you're losing out on the ultimate wealth cheat code, which is compound interest. So there are 252 investing days in every single year. And for the purposes of this particular investment in SCHD, I'm not worried about investing on the weekends or on holidays when the market is closed. So when I mentioned that it has been 3 months since I started investing $10 a day into this position, I want you to make sure that you take that into consideration. And then secondly, I'm using Webull to invest in this portfolio. I've mentioned in the past that I like using Webull because their interface is easy for me to navigate. And I also like it because I can buy fractional shares of ETFs within this broker. But the good news is you don't have to use Webull. You can use any broker that you're comfortable with. My only suggestion is that you select a broker that allows you to buy fractional shares of ETFs or stocks if that's what you're investing in. Now, let's talk about investing on Autopilot. So over the course of building out my portfolio, and in particular in SCHD, one of the things that I recently did is that I put this investment on Autopilot. So what that means for me is I have set up my account in Webull to purchase $10 of SCHD on every single trading day, which allows me to actually put this on Autopilot. And whenever I was giving my $5 a day update in VOO, I mentioned how I was trying to completely automate this process. And I got this comment right here where someone had mentioned like, hey, you can go in and you can actually schedule auto transfers from your bank account into your brokerage account. So you actually don't even have to do that as a manual process. See, keep me on my toes, guys. I mean, these are things that I should know, right? But as I'm kind of just building out this portfolio, I'm likely gonna miss a few things. So if you see something that I'm doing within my portfolio where you're like, you could do this to make this a little bit more seamless, leave a comment and let me know. I try to read every single comment that you guys leave on my videos, and I actually take those and I implement them if they fit my strategy. So I can tell you, when I started investing in this portfolio in 2024, I really didn't know what to expect. The only thing that I know is that when investing in the market, having time in the market is always going to be superior than trying to time the market. Because no matter what anybody tries to tell you, they cannot time the market. So when we get comments or we get people that say, why are you investing every single day? Why are you buying at or near all-time highs? We're just gonna block those people out, right? Because we are worried about investing in the market. And since we're building out this investment over a long period of time, we know that we're gonna be purchasing sometimes when the stock is at or near all-time highs. But on the flip side, we're also going to be adding to our investments whenever the stock or our position is at or near a 52-week low. So depending on your style and how you like to invest, you may not want to invest daily. You may want to do it weekly. You may want to do it every other week when you get paid. You may want to do it every single month. Whatever you decide is completely up to you. I'm doing this daily because one, I want to do this for my channel. And two, I just really want to see like what happens if you invest every single day as opposed to investing weekly like I do in my other accounts or monthly like I do in my 401k account. So it's kind of an experiment for me, but at the same time, I'm still working on building out and adding to my net worth over time. All right, so now let's jump in and let's take a look at how my investment in SCHD has performed over the last 3 months. So right now we're taking a look at my investment in SCHD. And if you take a look to the top left of my screen here, you'll see that I have an open P&L of $6.54. And my investment in SCHD is up 0.88%. Now, if you look to the right, you'll see that my P&L on the day is $5.04, and I am up roughly 0.64% on the day. And if you look to the left, you'll see my market value. So the total value of my investment in SCHD is $753.95. And I have a total cost basis. So the amount of money that I've actually put into this investment is $747.41. And I have an average price. So the average price that I've paid for each share of SCHD is $28.15. And I have a quantity of 26.54 shares of SCHD. Well, the last price that SCHD is trading at as of right now is $28.40. So what I'll do now is I'll scroll down and you'll see that every single trading day, Webull is going in and it is buying $10 worth of SCHD on every single trading day. And you'll see that I've not only been consistent, but you'll see the prices that I've been able to purchase SCHD, which is going to fluctuate because I'm doing it daily. And I believe that Webull makes its purchase every single day at the exact same time. And if we look at this screen right here, then we will see that there has been a pullback in SCHD since around November of last year, where you can see that we were right around $29.21 at the end of November of 2024. And as of today, we're at $28.37. So the price will fluctuate over time. In anticipation of hitting 1,000 subscribers on this channel, I'm giving away 2 one-on-one 45-minute coaching sessions for absolutely free. Now, these coaching sessions could be used for either financial coaching, career coaching, or it could be a mixture of the two. Now, if you're interested in obtaining one of these slots, I need you to do the following. Number 1 is like the video. Number 2, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Number 3, comment down below either financial coaching or career coaching. Number 4, be committed to participating in the 2 45-minute sessions. And number 5, leaving honest feedback and a review at the conclusion of the second session. Now, I'm going to be going through my comment section over the next couple of weeks, and I'll be selecting the 2 people. Now, let's get back to the video. All right, now let's take a look at some of the lessons learned over the last 3 months. Now, the first one is there has been some volatility in the market. We have a new president that is in the White House, and there has been more of a focus and an emphasis on tariffs, which has caused the market to fluctuate a bit. Now, I'm not mentioning that to say whether that's a good thing or it's a bad thing, right? I think individually, we all have our own preferences. I only mention that because I want to make sure that everybody understands of how volatile the market can be. So at any given time, the market can drop 5 to 10 points, or it can go up 5 to 10 points. But the main thing that we want to make sure that we continue to focus on at all times is we are worried about time in the market and not trying to time the market. We're worried about building out this investment and this portfolio over a long period of time. So in the next 10 years, the tariffs that are going into place now, they may or may not have an impact on what your portfolio looks like in 10 or 15 years. So we have to make sure that we continue to focus on the strategy, right? So if it's the daily investing, like I had previously mentioned, then make sure you continue to invest daily. If it's weekly or monthly, just make sure that you continue on that particular cadence to ensure that you have some consistency within your investment strategy. Number two, I talked about how compound interest is a wealth cheat code, and I absolutely believe that. But on top of that, we are investing in a ETF that is focused on paying out dividends. And we are in the dividend reinvestment program for SCHD. So that means that every quarter we are getting a dividend that's being reinvested back into our position. So not only do we get to enjoy compound interest, we get that dividend that gets reinvested back into our position on top of that. And number three, I know that my investment in SCHD is not up a lot. I mean, we're talking about less than 1%. But here's one thing that I want to make sure that you understand when it comes to investing. Building wealth over a long period of time often is a slow process, especially at the beginning. But once you start getting dollars invested into the market or to whatever you're investing in, that's when things start to speed up. Now, I've talked about kind of like the snowball down the hill analogy before, and I'll quickly mention it here. So when you start with a snowball at the top of the hill, it can be extremely slow. But once you continue to roll it down the hill and it picks up speed and it picks up additional snow along the way, it starts to get bigger. And by the time it gets to the bottom of that hill, you have a huge ball. Investing is the same way. And it may not seem that way when you're starting out with a little amount of money. But I can tell you from personal experience, even when I look at my 401k and my other accounts, those accounts have exploded over the past 10 to 15 years. And I can tell you consistent investing and consistency in general was the main fact. There's not some secret information that's out there that only a select amount of people have access to, right? The blueprint is there. We just need to make sure that we follow it. And four, just make sure you block out the noise, especially when you start to invest. You're always going to have someone that's coming in and telling you why you shouldn't be investing, why you shouldn't be investing on a monthly or a weekly or a daily basis. You're always going to have those people. But one thing I want to leave you with is whenever you put a plan in place, you want to make sure that you give it enough time to understand what's working and what isn't, and don't be afraid to tweak it along the way. But you have to block out the noise of the people that have no idea what your plan is. They have no idea what you're focused on, right? So just block that out, stick to the plan, and you'll be better off 1 year from today than where you are right now. And lastly, I've decided that I'm going to be adding VGT to my portfolio starting in March. So VGT will be the third position that I add to this portfolio, and my plan is to invest $10 a day into VGT as well. So what do you guys think? Did I make the right choice in selecting VGT? What would you have selected instead? And if you're investing with me as part of my small portfolio builder challenge, let me know what you're investing in and how close are you to that initial $5,000 goal. Have you already exceeded that and now you're working towards our next goal, which is $10,000? Let me know down in the comments below. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video.